For the rest of the unit, we're going to be using some ratios to take angles and sides and put them together in problems and figure out missing things, missing angles, missing sides. This is going to be a little weird at first because we have never done problems where we use angles and sides at the same time. It was either a problem on angles or a problem on sides. Right triangles are unique in this situation. There are three things we're going to have to do: sine, cosine, tangent. All right, now there's our ratios, which means these are just fractions. So this will look much more difficult than it is when to actually do. If you bring the calculator up for a second, there's three buttons right about in the middle: sine, cosine, tangent. Those are the buttons that we're going to use to do this type of problem in the calculator. All right, couple quick things before we actually look at what the ratios are. You have to have an angle in every single problem that has to do with these. Sometimes you'll be finding the angle, sometimes you'll know what the angle was, but we have to make sure that we know that there needs to be an angle involved in these problems. So if we don't know the angle, we're going to have to put a letter in. While we're talking about that, this pops up every once in a while, and it's a terrible, terrible situation when you don't know what it is because you see this symbol that looks like this, and you're like, I don't know what that is. That is very simply a Greek letter. All right, so it's a Greek letter, just like an X or a Y or a Q or whatever we normally use. It's called a theta. All right, and it's used in trig constantly outside of geometry. All right, so we don't use a theta a whole lot in here, but in any kind of class centered around just trigonometry, the Greek letter theta is kind of the accepted letter that's used in terms of an angle. All right, so if you see that, it's just a letter. Treat it like an X or a Y or a Z. If you want to change it to an X or a Y or a Z, just cross it out and put an X next to it or something. But don't leave things blank because you see that thing and you're like, well, don't know how to find that thing. It's just a letter.